Dave, yo, welcome. Episode number 17 of TerraFirmaCraft Reloaded here with DankNStein. Picking up right where we left off last time. In fact, I have done something over here, which is set up a couple of creosote oil barrels for dumping for our charcoal production over there. And I also got really confused with the fluid tanks. We've ended up with one that's got like some bit of water in, and I can't work out how to like add more water into it. I don't really know how I got water stuck in it. It was when I was trying to move creosote oil around. But then I ended up just using the bucket and it was fine. But that thing somehow ended up getting rainwater in it, and I can't get it out or get more water in to get a whole bucket's worth to get it out. I don't know what I've done wrong. So now I built another one to put back in. And one other thing I've done between episodes, the other thing as well is that when I logged back in, standing over there, exactly where we ended last episode, I come over here and like there had been a cave in while we were digging all that down. A few blocks over here had caved in and blasted through these two. It was this block here fell, so I had to replace those two bits of pine, and also it fell through these chests. So if you look in these, there was some stuff on the floor. I managed to salvage some of these chipped things, but not all of them. I also found one of those in between episodes, but I'll explain that in a minute. So we lost a lot of our chipped things. It doesn't really matter because we've got so many. But in this chest, we lost the top row, and it seemed like everything else had despawned, and it was just this stuff that was left. So the top row in here had quite a lot of kaolinite. Do you remember we used to have that vessel on the floor there, and I emptied it all in here at the end of last episode when we'd... Yeah, I think it wasn't ground up yet, so at least we hadn't put that time into it. And we do know where to go to mine some more. But that's what we lost. And I think we lost like a tiny bit of porcelain clay maybe. Not much though. Luckily the selenite that we grabbed last time was on the bottom row, so we didn't lose it. Anyway, so that happened. That was a little bit panicky when I first logged in. I was like, oh god. But that's fine. And then so just the last sort of half an hour or so before I started recording, I've been working down here. So you notice I've extended it along and I've added signs now. So I tried to put all of the core like TerraFirmaCraft ingots in their rightful place in groups of 3, because that's kind of how we've designed this. And we've got room for expansion when we discover more ingots from other mods. But for now I've just got the core ones laid out. So bismuth, tin and zinc are the 3 like tier 0 ones, aren't they? Then you've got copper, brass and lead. I mean, they kind of just go well together. They're like early, quite useful things. We're going to probably be using more and more brass as we go on. I don't know about lead, but the 3 of them just felt like they're the kind of early birds that go into a little 3 there, which then of course leaves room for the 3 types of bronze to go nya, bronze, bismuth and black bronze. And then I started to take a little bit of creative license, but I feel like this will make sense. We've got silver, sterling silver, and then platinum to round up that set of 3. Gold, rose gold, and nickel to round up that set of 3. And that means that whole wall there's everything. All the various things we can either mine out the ground or make as alloys from those core things. And then on this side, we get into iron and steel. So you have the raw iron, the pig iron, and the steel as a nice little 3. Leaving them black steel, blue and red steel as a 3. And then everything else, these remaining sort of 9 slots are up for grabs really, but for now I just put that unknown metal and the thaumium there. And so this leads us onto the first thing we're going to do today. A little bit different segment. I'm going to do some screen capturing, I think, to try and show you guys how we can load the texture back into this ingot, because I want it. And I think somebody commented the other day how to do this, or in fact no, what it was there was a conversation I got into on Reddit with someone. That was it. And they were like, and I think that person had been watching the stream from memory. I'm going to load it all up now anyway, but that's what we're going to do now. We're going to see if we can mess with some files so that when we log back in a minute, the thaumium ingot looks cool. And look, and there's other things here. There's like pewter and aluminium, and so I think there's going to be, judging by the fact we can make double ingots out of these ones up here, I would imagine that we'll also be able to place them in the world. So that's why I kind of made this a slightly more expanded. I think we could even expand it further, but I'm starting to get a bit nervous about how far across we can go before we hit an opening on the other side, right? Yeah, and then beyond that today, we're going to work on more infrastructure around here, basically building some paths. We're going to try and dig more of that up. Hopefully we don't get any more cave-ins, but we're going to keep our eye on it. And we're just going to prettify the place a little bit, really. That's the plan. So, ingot texture management. Let's go. Alright, cool. Yeah, so here's the post. It was J Bryant 3. This is my guy right here. Props. Because basically he'd been talking about Reloaded. I mentioned that I was on it, and he'd said here he'd fixed the Thaumium ingot texture. So I was like, right, how do you do that? How do you do that? So he says you can pull the Thaumium ingot texture out of the TerraFirmaCraft mod, the jar file, and drop it into a new folder in your Minecraft folder. So this had me stumped for a little bit because I was putting it into the main Minecraft folder, which turned out to be not working. So, and I had to look at how to open jar files as well, which turns out you can just, if you need like either the Java runtime environment or just a decompression software like Unzip or whatever. So I used WinRAR because it is free, and it's what I've always rocked. So here's how you do it. You get into this location here, Curse, Minecraft Instances, TerraFirmaCraft. I presume that's, you know, this is for me where I needed to go because I'm using the Curse launcher, the Twitch thing, this thing. I guess if you've installed the mod pack yourself manually or something, it might all be in your core Minecraft folder, in the app data one, in your main kind of user whatever it is thing. I've got all the technical terms here, but you just go into the mods folder from here, and then there's the mod there with the jar file. You can open that up with WinRAR. Right, so that's where you want to get to inside this jar file. Assets, TerraFirmaCraft, textures, blocks, metal. And then you grab that PNG file and you extract it over into here. So in the same sort of Minecraft folder, I suppose, as your install, you go resources, and this folder didn't actually exist. I got as far as blocks and I found these 4 files here. So I guess if you find those 4 files, you know you're in the right place. You create an extra folder in there called metal and chuck it in there, and that's that. And once that file's in there, it looks a little something like this. Boom, there we go. Isn't that much better than the missing texture crazy purple checkerboard? I'm pretty happy with that. So I thought that was a cool little thing to include there. I'm glad I actually managed to work it out, to be honest. So big props to Jay Bryant for that. Oh yeah, and so this exquisite opal, we got that from digging this out here using our hammer again. And like, I'm not going to put moss on it because I think I'm just going to make a steel one when this one runs out. Like eventually we want all our tools in steel, don't we? But I might take this thing out for a spin, because if we just go blasting through rocks, we should eventually pick up a few more of these. And it's not the exquisite ones we need, but for the enchantment table we need 1 exquisite, which we've got, and we need 2 of these flawless goons. So we need to find 2 flawless gems. It might take us a while, and also then I don't also know how we're going to get obsidian. Like, what do we need to do? We need to mix water and lava in the Tinker Smeltery, do we? If anyone knows how to make obsidian in this mod pack, holler me. Oh yeah, and look, while we were making our signs for down there, I chucked 3 up here. We got the black steel there on the end, and then that one's blue and that one's red. And it's reminded me just how much black steel and steel they actually use. Like the other alloys are minuscule compared to just banging out tons and tons of black steel and steel. So we will get to that eventually, and I hear the immersive engineering blast furnace is much better. So we might start looking into immersive engineering next time we kind of do some tech. But I'm probably going to blast through a load of, excuse the choice of words, steel production in this thing in the first instance anyway, just because we've made it now. So we might as well. Alright, so as morning is broken now, it's a fine a fine morning. Let's start building this deck here, because to be honest, it is getting kind of annoying. Yeah, like, it's getting really annoying jumping around this this dirt here to get between there and here. So what I think I want, and I might end up regretting this because we won't be able to put anything on it, but I think I want it at this level here, just to give a little bit more kind of flow to the area. And the other thing is, if we come and look up here, I kind of want it to feel like an extension of this sort of design. So we'll have this, and then you look down there and it's like the same thing, and we could even put another staircase coming like off of here, like a wooden one that goes down. Might be nice. So you've got like different ways, you know, loops, different loops we can do just for kind of convenience sake, you know. But like, if we just take a step back now, like, yeah, I'm liking it, I'm liking it. I don't think it needs to be much bigger than this, to be honest. Like maybe 1 or 2 rows, but basically like that. I think that's fine. And then maybe round here as well, like it kind of extends, because we're gonna have our sort of creosote oil storage in that kind of corner there. I think maybe we want to round off this corner, just get rid of that one there and put it there like that. That's much nicer. Yeah, that looks cool. I guess just the floor. But what we'll probably do with the floor is we'll probably go with, I think we will go with wood. Like we'll go get rid of all of this. Just keep double checking that any stones above our chests aren't being destroyed at this point. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Do we want the whole blocks to come out a little bit further? Like that? It's kind of more interesting if it's a bit more varied. I like that. I like that, with a kind of slightly different slope to the one we've got going on here. And then do we want to pull that out just to get rid of our last one? Actually kind of makes it look more uneven, doesn't it, that one block? So get rid. And this thing has stopped, hasn't it? Right, so we can take those and grab another stack. That's good, so 57. So all good. Yeah, I like it. And I think for now we'll skip the staircase, because we can actually just run up and down the grass, and there's something quite nice about keeping a bit of grass there. It is getting to night time though, which brings me on to the next thing that we need to do around here as part of our building. And you'll notice I used 2 pieces to finish off the lighting in there. But let's grind up, yeah, let's just grind all of this selenite up. We don't have much other use for it, I think, apart from lighting. Oh no, our handstone, there we go, needed replacing, as did that one now. Alright, sweet, so we've got tons and tons of glowstone here. And we know where that source of selenite is if we wanted to go out and mine some more too. I want to put it there. This is going to be scary, but let's do it. Or in fact, can we... There we go, let's do that. It's always worth playing it safe. Right, 15 should be good for now, and we'll save that stack, see how we go. And so it's in our chisel. We get these lovely neon glowstone. Look amazing, I think. They really go nice with the schist rock. And then we were using pine lumber. We're currently eating our way through the pork from last time, and once this pork's done, we are out of food. Still only in late winter, unfortunately. There we go, so we can get rid of that torch now. We've got some lighting here. And perhaps over here, let's get one there. Let's get rid of that. Let's put this solid block underneath it. Can't remember, but I think... Let's just double check this. Yeah, we were putting slabs on top of them. Any that were exposed from above. This inventory is just getting to be a madness now. It's too much stuff. We'll just dump it in there for now. We'll have to sort through a lot of this. And maybe, actually, should we just sort storage? Let's sort storage today as part of this kind of infrastructure session that we're on today. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh. Okay, and then right here, I think we want one of our nice built up ones. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll just leave it like that, and then we just need to put the pine around it. So that kind of lights this area up nicely. We then need to start working on the handrail. So should we come and have a look up here and see how did we do that? So we used these for supports on the corners. That's interesting. Yeah, we kept those to the corners there, and we do it at like 1 and then leave 2 and then okay, cool. Aha, we have our first issue with the fact that I chose to put this at slab level. So the handrail is going to have to be quite tall. It's going to need to be like there. Here's what I think actually. I want this bit right here to be more open because I think we could put some stairs here. So if we make a few more slabs, I think that's good. Just keeps it a bit more random looking. Do you want to speckle another one in like there or there or there? Maybe there. Is it just too random? Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, so over here though, you're too high up, aren't you? So this is just a balcony by this point. Like we'll definitely need a handrail coming along from there, right? So this is where we get back into this, all of this funny business. Alright, so here's what we've gone with from up here. And I just noticed again, this has stopped, and this time it's because of the creosote oil. So this is the process. It's pretty long, and I presume that we can eventually get pipes and things that will make it much quicker. Like we can make it automatically empty into big containers and things. But for now, we're on a budget. Oh, it's night time again, so I'm probably gonna have to go and sleep so we can actually take a proper look at our handiwork down here. But yeah, it's looking alright, isn't it? We're getting there. I like the rail. I think it works here. Like this sometimes looks glitchy having the two different wood types overlap, but the other option, which is something we did try initially, and actually I'm starting to now again feel like this might be the right way to go, is to simply not have the one connecting. So you just go like that. Let's go with that for now, I think. Let's go with that. Alright, yeah, so that's what we're going to stick with on that. And looking at this now, there's just, when we take a step back here, there's just one adjustment I want to make, which is to that pillar right there, I think. I guess what it is it just feels like that there's too much of a gap between, like those two supports look nicely spaced, and then that one just needs to be forwards, I think. I just want it like in that block there, going up to that corner, rather than buried kind of at the back in the middle of the in the middle of the staircase, right? So we just get rid of those. Yeah, much better, right? It just, from this angle now, that just feels more rounded. And so now, keeping a very close eye over there, let's continue to break down this area here. I think we're okay. It was probably when we were at a higher up level that it was impacting over there, I would have thought. See, it's a good way of picking up gems, this. But this is what I'm noticing now, is as I'm doing more and more of this excavating, and also as the number of different tools I have on me at any one moment is increasing, my inventory management is just becoming an absolute nightmare. And I think storage, we are not really managing it in a very efficient way. We still have all sorts of things, like over here now I'm just starting to dump stone and, you know, dirt and things in here. There's a coin in there for some reason, sticks. Like, what am I doing? So we need to manage this better, and so that's where I think building out some of this area is going to come in useful. So we have our kind of wood farming over there, and really we should strip out all of these trees here, flatten out this terrain, and start formalizing that with some strips of trees with all of the different saplings we've got. We should probably make somewhere to store all of our stone, and ooh, that unsupported bit there could cause a cave-in. Maybe we should prop those bits up. But like under there, I reckon that'd be a nice place to store our stone, you know. Start setting up a load of chests. Or one of the things that I know was mentioned to me, I think it's called lockers. These storage lockers. I think we should try and build some of these. And then you reinforce them with gems, do we? Interesting. But let's just try making some wooden ones first, because apparently we can put logs and ingots and things like that into these lockers, which I'm very curious to kind of experiment with. We'll flatten out this, and we'll flatten out that, and we'll flatten out all these trees. Basically what we're going to do now, I think, is a terrain, like terraforming montage. So this, that little area there is going to go, all of this is going to go. I think once again I'm going to play you guys another new piece, as we did in the last episode, for this montage, get some fresh music on the go, another instrumental from the upcoming EP. So alright, let's get our montage on. Boom. Alright, cool. I hope you enjoyed that cheeky little montagery there. Look at how different this place looks. Almost all that grass is filled in now as well. I think I like how I managed that bit. It was a little bit, I was a little bit unsure as I was doing that bit. It used to stick right up there, didn't it? But I was a little bit unsure about how to manage it. But the way the trees had all been built around it, the fruit trees, it just made sense. And so I think what I'm going to do is expand the fruit trees out. We'll cover that hill in fruit trees and maybe expand them so it's a bit more of a steady curve there. And that leaves all this space then. We'll clear those trees. Leaves all this space for farming normal wood. And again, then a little bit of a dip down into where we put our great wood trees. But that is like a whole tree woods kind of area now, which I think is alright. I mean, unless we want to put buildings in that space and like clear out the trees back there. But I think we want things a little bit closer to home, really. And we don't have that many more buildings we want to build just yet. And when we do, maybe having them on the other side of the woodland would sort of be perhaps more interesting. Who knows? What do I want to do? I want to put up the fuel away. We're kind of steadily building up charcoal supplies, which is good. It's pretty dark out there now. So I guess we need to take a sleep. And then I think we're going to start basically just mapping out our stone and wood storage before we kind of start farming the wood, so that we've got somewhere to actually put it all. And then we'll probably call it an episode. But yeah, a couple more little buildingy projects to do to round us off here, I think. Okay, so what we got here? We got a couple of walnut saplings. Okay, so we could plant those to help round off and a green apple tree sapling there. And then all the rest of these are types of wood. So we can map out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 types of wood worth of storage. Oh, we got 2 plum trees there as well. Interesting. Okay, so we need to leave some crap behind here. The inventory management has just gotten absolutely out of hand. Like it is chaos. Alright, so here's the plan. Like this area here, I'm quite happy with just like piling up log piles of great wood for charcoaling. That makes sense. And then you'll notice down here, we've got this kind of stone wall. So we could even shave another layer off that, bring it back one. Whether we do that or not, we need to think about how these stairs come down here. And I think the flow would be to keep a similar kind of great wood slabby staircase that maybe rolls round and down like that. And I think in here, this is enough room for stone storage. So for that, I want to test these lockers. And then over here, we would line up the more formal wood storage that isn't for great wood, that's for all the other types of wood, like with all these various saplings we've got. But to free up some inventory space first, let's get the fruit trees that we have planted. We have here, let's get them planted. Okay, so I've had a little look around, and we do have plum already. We just have a singular plum here, and we've got 2 plums to plant. I think we can fit one in right here. Although these, no, these aren't fully grown, are they? No, so we probably don't want to cram one in the middle there, like that. So what we might do in the long run is move that plum one out of there, because I want to keep them in clumps. They don't need to be in rigid formation, but they do need to be in clumps. I want them to kind of all be like with like. And green apples come down here, so there's a perfect candidate for one to go here. And I think it's 5, isn't it? So if we say it's 1, 2, and then a gap, and then 1, 2, so we could put it like maybe just right there, maybe even closer, because it's not going to grow up that tall, is it? I think that's fine, and that's kind of in a clump with all the other green apple then. And then we have these two walnut saplings. So maybe we chuck those. Have we been doing a gap of 5? Is that what we were doing? Yeah, it was. So I think we could put 1 walnut one there. That would be fine. And another one maybe down in here. If we were to just kind of shave a little bit of dirt off the side here. See how it fares. Should be okay. Okay, looking at it, a lot of these are only 4 apart actually. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, let's put one there. And then the next plum can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe put it there. And then that kind of gives this area a bit more of a natural curve of the fruit trees. And then if we end up harvesting some more saplings off of the other plum tree, it could go here and kind of finish the area. But I guess we want some room to expand as well, like if we find more fruit trees than what we've already got. Anyway, that's fine for now. That finishes that job. Alright, so just to give us some inventory space to work with, I'm just going to chuck all of our actual tree saplings in there. I think that's all of them, that's fine. We've got 8, so let's just experiment. Let's get rid of some of this as well. Let's just experiment now with these lockers. So I believe we just need a load of trapdoors. And then, was it blocks? I think it was blocks, actually. From memory, it was that. Oh, there we go. I guess they look the same no matter what wood we make them from. But let's test how this thing operates. If we put one like there. Oh, Interesting. But I think if we put one above it, we can make it into a double locker, can we? Alright, so if we put one there, it does indeed become a double locker. And then, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking like this. Just for in here, like just a wall of these lockers. And we have one for each type of stone. Can we label them or something cool like that? Like, let's say we wanted... No. Okay, I don't really... We'll have to experiment with how we label these. But for now, look, oh dear, the saw is looking knackered. But for now, even just that, it's just going to give us so much storage to keep all of our stone. And it'll free up space everywhere else. And we could even do a third layer above, couldn't we? I think that would be fine. Alright, so if we put a sign like there, and say like, schist? Is that how you spell it? No, there's a C. God damn it. Alright, that's cool. That works, like, then you can still access it there. So let's just bang all that out now. Alright, boom, that's done. And we actually had the perfect amount of places here. I had to use 2 for schist, because we've got loads of that, and that's like our home turf. But then everything else is all kind of sorted into its various categories here. And we've gone with dirt and everything, just all of it in one. Everything you dig from the ground, basically. For now, it's temporary. It will probably have to expand it very soon. But for now, perfect. A little cobblestone decoration there on the floor. And we're down to eating seaweed now, which is pretty bleak. But look, it kind of took a while to move all the stone around. And I think what we're going to do is actually wait until next time to start work on the wood there, because we've probably run a bit long already. But a very productive episode. It looks very different around here, and I'm very excited to crack on, and hopefully we can get frequency of episodes up a little bit more. It's I've done 2 in a few days now. Hope to kind of maintain that 1 episode every 2 or 3 days of this now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.